Hello, if you're here with me. I'm just checking on all the devices to see how we're doing here. I'm still getting the hang of this YouTube live thing. It looks like we are live. Awesome. Hello, I see there's a few of you with me. Welcome, welcome. I'm excited to be doing this. This is the second time I've done this website review session. And today I have 3 websites to go over. But first, hi, if we haven't met, I am Catherine Forbes, founder of Designing the Row. I design websites, a lot of musician websites, a lot of author websites, small businesses. And this series has really started to become for those people who are designing their own websites, creating their own websites, and need a little help along the way. I have designed and created over, I think the number is up to like 250 at this point, over 250 Squarespace websites. So been there, done that, seen it all. I've got lots of ideas. I love to share ideas. I'm technically a Squarespace expert, Squarespace authorized trainer. I always say those are their titles, not my titles, but I will proudly take them. So the way that this will go, I have, like I said, 3 websites that I'm going to share. We have somebody we're going to start off with from Denmark, so they won't be able to join us live just because the time difference. And then the next website is somebody from Australia. And then the third website is somebody here in the US. I think she will be able to join us. She's kind of double booked, so we'll see. I'm saving her for last to see if that helps us out a little bit. So if you watched the last time, if you joined the last time, you know that I was kind of talking with people in the chat as I was reviewing their website. I don't know if we'll get that as much so today, but I have my notes prepared of what I want to share. Today I'm going to share, I think last time I shared, look, Peter, you're here. Great. Last time I shared a lot about SEO, and it was really because people were asking me questions like, how do I get organic traffic? And I got some of those questions again today, but I also want to kind of incorporate some design elements, because that's what I do. That's my favorite part. And I think design can make such a big impact, a big first impression. So I want to go over that too. So I'm going to answer the questions that were submitted by these 3 people when they sent me their websites. And I'm also going to go over and design. I'm going to try to do this on my own website. We will see how that goes for us, if I can get everybody's kind of branding in line on my own website. I've got a couple screens open, as you can probably imagine here. Make sure I have the right ones open, that you can see the right ones. I'm going to go ahead and get my website pulled up too, so that we can have that ready to go. But Peter, you're up first. Let me get my page ready here. Perfect. Okay, pull up Peter's website, switch over my screen. Okay, so let's head over here to Peter's website. Peter does 3D printing and has a printing course to help people do 3D printing better. Peter, let me know if I got that right. If you want to give your own pitch in the comments, go for it. Let's see. Again, so many tabs. Let's see if I can get it right here. Okay. We are going to do this. Okay. So Peter has a new course about 3D printing, and he said he's getting some organic traffic, some paid traffic, and wants to up his sales. So any feedback on that is what we're after today. So first, let's talk about this homepage, and then we'll switch over to your sales page. First of all, I love this homepage and the pictures that you have of what you can make. That is crazy cool. So let's work on this getting organic traffic situation. And I am going to say this to everybody today, and I think I said it to everybody last time too. When you are doing organic traffic, you have to talk to the search engines so that they know how to send people to your website. So for you, Peter, I am wondering what you think. Do you think people are typing into the search engines, making printing fun? Or what do you think maybe they are actually searching for. I'm curious to see what you think people are searching for. I came up with, you probably see my little screen going in and out. I'm like opening up my notes over here. But I came up with something for you that I think that maybe we should switch out your header one up here. The header one is like the title of your homepage or any page on your website. You need to have one header one, and it basically is the title of your page and tells the search engines what this page is all about. So for me, I think your homepage should say something like, master resin 3D printing and start creating crisp miniatures today. That way we get in the keywords like the resin 3D printing, and we get in the title of your course. You can let me know if this is in line with what you're thinking. And I think you need to update the site title and the SEO description to match. From what I remember from looking it up, your SEO description is just very short. I think you can bulk that up a little bit, get in your brand name, get in the name of your course, get in some of those keywords that people are searching for. And that'll really help with the organic traffic and just letting the search engines know who should come to your website so they can send them there. The other thing I wanted to talk about as far as SEO goes is to give your images alt tags. So you have a bunch of images here on your site that are great of what you can make with a 3D printer. And what you need to do is give them some alt tags. So Google searches, or whatever search engine you like, searches your images just as much as your page. So, when you Google search something and you can click on the images tab, if your image is just titled like IMG 1234, they're not going to know that, oh wait, this is like a really cool, like you've got the caption here, but it's not the alt tag. You've got this really cool guy here. We don't know what it is, so we can't show it to people. We can't show it up in search and in the organic results. I'll show you how to do that. Let's actually switch over to my website and see how this idea of mine, where I want to test out doing some design in real time and just show you what I think it might be able to look like and make a really big bang on your homepage. Actually, on yours, I want to do your sales page. So let's pop over to your sales page really quick. And the other thing I want to say about your sales page is that I love, sorry if I feel like I'm skipping all around. I have so many ideas trying to get them out in the way that makes the most sense. I love this part about you, Peter, and I think you should incorporate this up higher on the page and some of it even on your homepage. And you've got this great about page as well. I think what people want these days is not only to get the answers on how to better 3D print, but like, who is this person that's teaching me? Like, do I resonate with them? Just who are they? Who am I going to learn from? And I think this is some really beneficial information that you have and that you should not hide. So don't hide it way down here. Make people scroll like all the way down your page to get that information. I'd say pull that up. But let's talk about this part right here. This is what can make, this is like the first thing that people see, especially if you're running ads to this page. This is what people are going to see first. This is the first impression. So how can we make the most of this section? Let's see if I can make this happen. So I am on my website, as you can see. I'm going to add a section and see if I can kind of brand it to look like what you've got going on, Peter. So I'm going to add a block, add an image, and I pulled over one of your little 3D printed guys here. And I'll show you how to do that image alt tag. So if I click on the pencil icon and I scroll down here, you can see image alt text. And it's optional, but it does, as you can see, help improve your SEO. So if this is what you want it to be, we can make that your optional text. I might also like say, oops, you should put in 3D printed. If I can type whatever you think is a good description of this image, definitely use those alt tags to your advantage. So I'm going to just kind of play around here. I'm going to use a shape for the background color just because obviously your colors are not loaded into my site. Let's see here. think this is the correct one here. Oh, I hate when it does that. Have you ever seen that where you like type in the hex code and it doubles up your letters and numbers? There we go. And I'm hoping that if you guys can watch me design, you can kind of see what I do, but also what's possible here and what the tools do. So I know I'm working fast. I don't want to take up all your time doing these, but I want to give you a good example of what I think we can do here, Peter. Let's see. Edit page. Now let's add some text here. I know this is your homepage image, but I did think it was a really strong image, so that's why I pulled this one. Okay, what did I say? Let's pop back over to my document and I'll copy and paste what I think I said here. I pulled this from your sales page here and kind of reorganized it. Again, let me get all the text in here and then I'll make it look right. Okay. So this is all about making a good first impression. Here's your button text. So the goal here is to, in this first impression, let people know what it is, why they need it, how it can help them, and get started, all in this one, what we call the hero image or the hero view. So let's go ahead and do heading 1 here. Again, these are my fonts. I know that, just kind of giving you the gist here of what I would do. And probably center it. It's looking a little big, so I'm going to put it to header 2, but this should be header 1. And let me grab your font text color here. I believe it's this. And then we're going to pretend make a button here. With a shape. It keeps wanting me to select the shape I already have. There we go. Add block, shape. Do a pretend button down here. And some text. I guess I could have done some text with a background color. But here we are. Add block, text. Center that. Send that text trying to the middle. Turn your button the right color. Something else that I like to do when I design is make all the buttons across the whole site the same color. Peter, I think you're already doing that, but I just wanted to say that out loud for anybody else watching. So AF524B. We'll pop that white. Okay, so this is something, it's not perfect here, but this is what I would recommend for the top of your sales page. You've got the title of your business, the title of your course, what it is all about, and kind of just like a call to action here. Maybe you could do something fun with this. Put a little animation behind it. And then just you're talking to the people here, this was great text, and then join. So before even scrolling down your page, they know exactly what they're getting and they can see your product, how cool it is, and what you could help them do. And they could go ahead and join right there off the top. I'm going to check over here on the comments to see what you're saying. Perfect. So you see the stuff above the fold is small and hard to read. So I think this would really help just amplify what you've already got going here. You could keep the background image in this, but I think making sure that you include a strong header 1 for search and that organic traffic, and then answer as many questions and get across as much info as you can, and then give the strong call to action to go ahead and pay. and sign up. And then of course you got the cool images there. So that would be my advice for you, Peter. And then as well as to incorporate some more about you higher up on both the homepage and this sales page. I know when I got to that stuff, I really liked it and enjoyed getting to know about you. I also wrote down, where is it in my notes? My printer ink is really going out here, so it's hard for me to read. My advice to you for your sales page, I think what you've written is really great. Let me see if I can come back over here. I'll talk to you this way. I think what you've written is really great. I might recommend, I don't know how you did this, I think a lot of times when we're building a website or a website page, we kind of just start actually on the page and we write as we design and build and do all the things at the same time. And I've found that makes things really hard because you're trying to do so many things at once. So my advice would always be to write your content separately, and before you put it on your website, before you design it, to just read through it. I think what you have is really well written, but I might just want to reorder it, if that makes sense. So maybe pull it all off the page, just copy and paste it into a Word doc, and then read it, and maybe just move some things around. But otherwise, I think what you've got is great. I'll tell you, let me see, what I wanted more of sooner was to know about what was included. I wanted to know who you were, and then I wanted to know, where is it? This information. This was oh wow, this is actually a pretty in-depth course. You can see all the times of everything and exactly what you're going to be teaching. So I wanted to see this higher up. That's my personal feedback, but I think that's why you're here. So that's what I've got for you today, Peter. Hopefully this was helpful. I think what you're doing is super unique, super cool. If you have any questions, definitely pop those in the chat. I'll answer all the questions at the end. And yeah, I think, let me double check on my notes, make sure I got it all. Yeah, that is what I have for you today. I hope it makes sense. But again, if you have questions, definitely drop those in the chat and we can chat after I do the other two websites. Okay, next up, let me see here. Make sure I'm on the right screen. Yes. Okay, next up we have Dr. Addy. Dr. Addy is in Australia, so it's 4 a.m. her time. I think we had someone from Australia join us live last time. She set her alarm to wake up. I personally don't think I would do that. Shout out to Jilly, but today we have Addy from Melbourne. As you can see, she does some telehealth and in-person mental health care, and we're going to kind of do the same flow here. She is doing, let's see, she's working through some practices, but getting client referrals and wanting to branch out and do more of her own thing. So she's just starting her website, starting to get people to come to it. So how to strengthen the website capacity to attract visitors and turn a visitor into a potential client. So I also have some SEO ideas for you, Addy, and then I will do the same thing with your homepage hero on my website and kind of reimagine it a little bit to make it as strong as possible. So the first questions and notes that I have for you would be, when I did the SEO, check the things on the back end search of your site, it looked like your site description mentioned Melbourne, but I do not see Melbourne mentioned anywhere else here especially on your homepage is where I searched. I'm obviously not familiar with the area, but you have Camberwell and Grovedale mentioned here. So I'm just wondering, it looks like there may be suburbs of Melbourne, which would make sense. But for the search purposes, I would say either pick Melbourne or pick the suburbs and run with it. So whether you want to change the SEO description or change it here on your homepage, I would pick one and then run with it, because that will help with consistency and with search. Okay, my next point to you is that your homepage just doesn't have a lot of text on it. And specifically it has 133 words. If you can double that or even more, put more text on your homepage, that would be better. Like I was talking about, the text on the page is how the search engines know what you do and how to serve up your website to others. So the more text you can put on there, the better. You obviously don't want to get too wordy, but more text, the better about what you have to offer. Okay, the next thing on my list is the get started versus your contact pages. And as I kept looking, I think maybe this is just because you started with a Squarespace template and then you started customizing it. But I think there's still some template stuff left over that we need to clean up. So the get started page is not up here in the navigation, but I clicked on one of these buttons and it led me to get started. This one led me to get started. And then down here is a link to get started, but everywhere else you link us to the contact page. So I have a feeling you built out the contact page and maybe the get started was part of the template. I just want to draw that to your attention. So this contact page has a form where you can do your consult, get ready for a consult. And then the get started page, I actually like this better. I think this is just the template showing off how you can actually do the scheduling on your website, because it says book a free consult with any doctor from our team. And I have a feeling that this is just for you. If you might want to hide this or else people are going to be booking random sessions with you that don't actually exist. But I do really like maybe incorporating in your contact form, like where are you located, get to know about the person so that you can better book a session, like what hours, what days work best for you. If you can at least get that information, that would mostly help you in booking people without so much back and forth. Next up, to improve your SEO, this is just a tiny, tiny little thing, but I noticed this on your website, and the next one I'm going to do is that you need to add a favicon. I'll pop over here on my site again and show you really quick where that is. The favicon, you can see in my tab up here as the little tiny black circle is my logo, is the favicon, and yours are black boxes right now. That's just the Squarespace default. If you come into settings and then favicon, you just add a tiny little icon right here to replace that black box, and it actually does impact your SEO score like this much, but it still counts. So I vote that you should do it. Next up, along with the template versus what you've customized part, this Addy's approach here, to me it seemed like it was going to be customized because it has your name on it, but then I started scrolling down and I don't believe that this is you, and then these were like, this is a frequently asked question. So I think maybe just delete this page or customize it to really make it yours. And then down here in the footer, a couple more things. The ceramics, I feel like these were probably the pictures in the template. The ceramic pictures were by this person. And then this FAQ here is just underlined. It's not actually clickable. I know you've got FAQs up here, but I just wanted to point out that this down here in the footer is not actually clickable. And then I don't know to what extent you've customized this page, but I do know that this is just like a stock Squarespace image, so I would recommend definitely switching that one out. Something else I had suggested for you to really just make this feel personalized. Like I love seeing your picture here, learning a little bit about you on the homepage. Something else I think you could add, I like to put it down here, like right above the footer oftentimes, is your Instagram feed. I notice you have your Instagram icon here, but you can actually embed your feed here on your website so that people can see, oh, this is a real person, she's active, here's what she's sharing. Just give it a more personalized touch on your website that is also something that is constantly updating on your website without you having to actually update your website, which is great. My last SEO tip for you is to actually add a header 1. You don't have any header 1s on your homepage. And like Peter and I were talking about, header 1 is the title of your page, of each page, and so you need to have one. It is important to have. So let's pop over again to my website and let's see if we can reimagine this top homepage section for your website. Okay, come back into edit mode. I'm just going to add a new section. Add blank section, and I also pulled your image. Peter, I see you have to go. The kid is calling. I 100% know how that is. Mine woke up this morning and he was being extremely fussy. I was like, please don't let this be a sick day. I have a YouTube live. I'm so excited about it. Please be okay. I think it was just, he was having one of those mornings. But thank you for, if you're still here, Peter, thank you for joining. I enjoyed looking at what you're up to. Okay, Addy, so I've dropped in a picture as you have it here in the background. I do like that. I remember like my first impression of landing on your site was, oh, that's a happy, friendly picture. So I think we should keep it. We can change the overlay. Again, these are going to be my brand colors and not yours. But let's see if we can put a dark overlay on it similar to what you have right now. And then I've got some text customized for you as well. So I think I was saying you needed a header 1. What's important with header 1s is several things, but the first thing is that the site name that you have here and your URL are both your name, but your name is not mentioned anywhere in this top section here. So let's first incorporate that the consistency gives the search engines like, yes, this is Dr. Addy's website. We are confident in that. The next thing we need to add, let's see, like I was saying to Peter, what are people searching for? They're not searching for, you deserve to live a full life. I like that line, but it doesn't need to be the most prominent thing. And sometimes I know like design versus SEO, which one do you prioritize? Oftentimes I do choose design over SEO, and like, yes, this is a nice line and something that you resonate with and you want to communicate. But here on this very top of your homepage with your header 1, what we need to do is 1, communicate to the search engines what the site is about, and 2, give people a very good first impression and let them feel confident that they have landed on the right site. So with that, let's add a block and add some text. And I will also copy and paste what I pre-wrote for you, so it doesn't take all the time. We've got something like this. Again, y'all can, of course, customize it to make it make most sense for you. But what I came up with here was something that incorporates mental health care, and personalized mental health care is a great long keyword. We've got your name, we've got your locations, and mentions that you offer online. You could either do like telehealth across Australia here, might be a better word. And then we can still say you deserve a full life. And then we'll do a button that says request a consultation. I know you have one up in the corner, but I want to duplicate that and put that right here with the text on the page. So let's pop this to header 1. Again, like I did with Peter, I might make it header 2 just so it's not as big. I like big header 1s on my site, but I know they can take up a lot of space. Let's see. Okay, pretend this is header 1 and pretend this is header 2. And then let's add a separate text block. I'll show you why in a second. We're going to make a pretend button here. We will center the text. Let's go ahead and make it bold. And I'm moving really fast, I know. I clicked out of it, and I'm going to click back onto it, and you can see it gives me less and different types of design options. I'm going to align it center in the block, and then I'm going to put a background behind it. Again, we're just making a pretend button, so I can style it with your colors. I also copied your button color, which is EBFC72. Oh, that did not do what I wanted it to do, did it? EBFC72, there it is. Perfect. And what I might recommend for you is doing a little highlight on your name. So on Peter's, up here, we kind of highlighted this text here. On yours, I probably highlight your name. Let's see. This will be similar to what I did with Peter, but you guys can play with the styling and however you would like yours to appear. This is my brand, my style, how I like to design. So again, it copied my numbers twice. 2, 1, 2, E, 2, 1. And you can animate it, you can round it. That's how I have it on my home page. And something like that. Then your name pops out right without even reading it. If we want to put a period here, you can, I think you had these all lowercase, like a sentence instead of a headline. Something like this is what I would recommend for the top of your page. And honestly, let's see. I'm going to see if I can pull your picture too, actually. Because this is your website. So we like this picture at the top, but this is about you too. People want to know who they're going to be working with. They want to just have a face to put to a name. Like, who am I going to talk to about like all my personal stuff with, you know? You don't have to make it all about who's coming to your website. This is also all about you too. So I might do something like this. You can see the method behind my madness now as I do this in real time. And then I might drop that background. Let's see if I can find another picture real quick. If you didn't already know, if you go to background, browse stock images, and let's see what would be a good that does not look like what I was looking for. Trying to just quickly scan for something that looks like your brand colors. This is not Melbourne, but you know, it's kind of got some of the greens in there. Let's just go with it for the sake of time here. So I might take the people out of the top banner and make it more about you. This is kind of blending in now. So let's change that color. You had another lighter green. Let's see if my bad printer if I can read that. AECOAV. So your lighter green. There we go. So this is something that I would recommend. I'm gonna get your name all on one line. There we go. This would be something that I would recommend for updating and improving your homepage. Let's pop that down. And then I think these are too close for me, but I wanted the same space on either side, so I needed to put it like that. So let's quickly do this. Just change the gap between all the little blocks there. And that is what I would recommend for you, Addy. And I might make that dark so it stands out. It did not change, did it? Try one more time. Black. There we go. That would be my suggestion for you. Okay. I'm having fun over here. I don't know. I see there's a couple of you watching. Hope you're having fun, learning something. Okay. Perfect. If you are here listening, I'm also today going live with a new series. I'm kind of trying to kickstart my other YouTube channel. Like on this Designing the Road channel, I share all about Squarespace and websites, of course. On my other channel, I want to still share about websites, but more just not personalized, but more general marketing advice. So right after this is over, you will be able to watch the premiere of that series, which I'm really excited about. The first video is all about how to make more money with your website, and who wouldn't want that? So that's what's coming up next. We've got one more site. Sarah, I don't know if you're here, but it is your turn. We will pop over here. Sarah, you're here. Hi. So we've got Sarah. Sarah did send me some specific questions on just like how to use and navigate Squarespace and make the design work for her. So we'll be going over those to start with, and then I will do the same thing over here and work on the top of your homepage. Okay. I'm just going to, let's see here. I've got your list of questions here. I'm going to go and read through what you've got. I think we can knock out a lot of these pretty quickly. So your first question was how to create a backup of the site in case something happens. I've got 2 ways that you can do this. Let's go back. Since I'm logged into my site, I will show you. You can, if you go to settings, website, import and export content, you can export your content here. Honestly, I don't ever take measures to back up my site. I think maybe what you were asking though was like when you're editing, how do you maybe go back to a past edit? And unfortunately, that's just not a thing. You just keep messing with it and playing with it till you get it back to what you want. You can also, let's see if I open a new tab, if this will work for us. If I go to account.squarespace.com, if I hover over these 3 dots here, you can see duplicate website. So if you just want another copy of your website, once it's ready to go, you can duplicate your website here. It'll just sit there doing nothing, but that would be another option to have a backup. Again, that was account.squarespace.com, and that's your Squarespace dashboard. You can see any and all sites that you have access to there. Okay, next question. Can we review what automatically saves versus what requires a manual save? I've never actually thought about that question or had to answer it in an explanation. It is kind of weird what does save and what doesn't save automatically. But for the most part, whenever you're in edit mode, you always have to hit save. But if you, for example, if I go to services, like this type of a section, if you are adding any of these little, I'm going to call them cards. I always turn them into cards. Let me make it easier to see here. If I turn these into cards, if you're adding any of these cards, these content blocks to sections like this, they automatically go live on your site without you having to hit save, but you still do need to hit save. And I also think sometimes this happens also with colors and maybe fonts. I think those just happen before you hit save, but you always do have to hit save. So it's weird. I don't think there's any method to the madness, but that's the Squarespace editor for you. Okay, next question was is there a free option to collect email addresses? How do you set it up? So MailChimp has always been my go-to recommendation. You used to have 500 to 1,000 subscriber limit before you had to start paying. I checked it, and now it's I think 500, and you only get that free for 2 weeks, and then you have to start paying even if you don't have 500. So over here on my website, actually, if you go to resources, I use Kit. It used to be called ConvertKit until recently, but I use Kit, and I have an option to get free up to 1,000 subscribers. So if you want to try that out, go for it. I've used it since 2017, maybe. It's been a while. I really like the service. You can also use Squarespace has built-in option of email campaigns, and for whatever reason, like if somebody fills out a form on my site, it just collects their information. I think it's their way of like trying to get you to use it. You can collect people for free here for as long as you want, but it's when you go to send them an email that you have to start paying. I did try it out because I wanted to keep everything in like one place, thought it was a great idea, but I wasn't a fan. So it's an option, but this is what I've used and loved for a while now. Okay, hopefully that answers your question. Okay, how do we add drop downs and associated pages under the main existing navigation? Okay, this is super easy. If you go into website and then pages, if you click, I'm going to click in my not linked section. If I click the plus button and then drop down, it adds a drop down folder. And then if you already have the pages created, I'm not going to drag my home page in there. I'll drag this old home page in there. You can drag and drop pages into it, or you can click and add and create new pages or a store or whatever you want to add into it. But you just add that drop down option right there. Let's put her back down here. She's an old version, but I get scared to delete it for whatever reason. Okay, delete the drop down. Okay. And what to do with login link until I'm ready to have functionality associated with the feature. Yes. So I think you're talking about this button up in the top corner. Again, on my site, just because I have edit access, if I come into edit mode, edit site header, and then add elements, you just want to turn the button off until you're ready to use it. It's right here. Turn it on and off. You can turn on and off all these things right here. I just have the social links on, but that's how you turn it off. And then exit. Okay. Two more questions. How to change the styling of buttons. Also, super simple. Edit mode. Click on the site styles paintbrush in the top right, and then buttons are right here. And you can customize the primary, secondary, and tertiary all separately, or you can go into all button packs. And if you hover over it, you can see what the 3 options for that button pack would look like. If you want to change the colors of them, you come into colors, and then you pick which color theme you want. So if I choose lightest, and then if I just clicked on this section here, and it was like, these are the options that you have to style for what you just selected. I can do the card button background right here, and you can customize the button colors for each color theme on the site. It's not actually on the page where you do it, it's in the background of site styles because it wants you to keep your buttons consistent and your design consistent. So anytime you have like light 1 on your site, anytime you use a light 1 section, it's going to apply the same design styles, which is, I think, a really great feature that they use. And then last question, how do we create a custom font color to match the logo? So I went, and I did this for you, so I could use it for my purposes of doing these examples. Here's my YouTube video page. Your hex code, add section, add blank section. I'll type it out for you so you can copy it. Your hex code, what is it, of the beyond, of the brave text is this. Next page. 3E, 5E, 75. That's your blue. That's your hex code. And if you want to put it in the background of your site so that you can use it as part of your color palette, which I would recommend, you come into colors, edit palette. I'd recommend making it your dark option, and then you just replace this hex code here with what I've typed out here. And we'll close that out. Okay. Let me see. It looks like you said you want to have a page for gift certificates under the contact tab, so you'd need to make a contact drop-down menu and then drag in your contact page and then drag in the gift certificates page. But I think we got that. So now let's talk about your hero section up at the top. So just like the other two sites, how can we make the best first impression here and really communicate to the search engines and to viewers what your website is about and what you have to offer. So I do like this, the health coaching and holistic wellness. And just like I was saying with Addy and Peter, immediately I wanted to know like who is the person behind this sooner than I found it. So yours is not on the homepage at all, but I know it's on the about and contact. I feel like I have a sneeze coming on. Excuse me. Okay. So if we come over here, I think I came up with something fun actually for what I found for you. So you've got these waves here. I'm going to challenge you to we're going to add some movement to your site. We'll see how fast this loads in real time. I went to Pexels. I don't know if y'all have ever tried Pexels, Pexels. It's very similar to Unsplash. There's actually a whole bunch of images that are duplicates across the two stock image sites. Unsplash is what's built into Squarespace that you can use that I showed you on Addy's site. Pexels, I just went to pexels.com and you can search videos. So I found a video of waves. So we're going to add some movement to your site with video. So this uploaded, we're going to mute it so that we can autoplay it. We want to loop it and we don't want any control. So it just looks like a background video. I'm going to take the height out so I can stretch it full width. And we're going to pull it out like this. There she goes. I can't remember if there's my text. Thought I had that there. Okay. I do see you have a question. If you already have the contact page done, just like I dragged my homepage into my old homepage into that drop down, you'll just drag it right into there. The drop down isn't necessarily a page. It's just the folder that you're putting your pages in. Does that make sense? So you'll just create the drop down. You can title it contact if you want, and then drag your existing contact page into it, and then drag your the gift certificates page into there as well. Okay, so just like the other two, I have some updated recommended text for you as well. I will copy and paste. For you, I have, let's see if I can also drop in a comment here in the chat, maybe. Oh, it doesn't want to let me chat. I was going to give you the link to, maybe not. I was going to give you the link to the Pexels. There it is. If you want to use this video, go for it. So let's quickly style this. Maybe I'll do something different here. I'm going to put a background behind it. We can change the color. We can change the opacity. Kind of like my brand colors with this video. Could change the opacity so you can still see the waves through it. You could put an outline around it if you like. Let's just go for it. You can make it rounded corners. More padding, less padding. And now let's do, okay. Do this. Again, my heading one is huge. I'll show you on my homepage in a second. I just recently redid it. I can't see my boxes here. Maybe we want to keep it small so we can see the waves. Again, pretend this is heading one. For your heading one, I kept your health and wellness. I got your brand name in here and holistic health and your name in here. So I kind of combined everything into one for your header one. Remember, this is the title of not only your page, but your website, since it's your home page. Grab this text. We can make this one bigger. And for you, I recommend 2 different buttons. I want you to have a View Services button and a Book Consult button. So for somebody coming to your website for the very first time, they might not be ready to book immediately. So let's show them your services, what you have to offer. Let me make this a little bit darker. Maybe actually black. You got that black in your logo. Make white text. Where's that? Now it's hiding. There it is. Okay. I'm going to hit enter one more time so we have space for our buttons. We can center this. And again, something fun to do might be like, I know this isn't your blue. Your blue would be too dark over black, but something like that. Let's see if I can get, there we go, Brave on one line. I'd probably do something like that so it stands out. Oops. Let's make this a different color, and then we will add our pretend buttons. Okay, what did I say? View Services. Let's see, I guess we can keep that black text. Let's make it bold, center it, pretend it's a button. I can click on it again, center it in the box, give it a pretend button background. And then we'll give it a border edge corner so it matches the block background. And then on, what did I say? Book Consult. Make them smaller. They're not centering up. There we go. Our box isn't centered, I guess. Okay, that's what I get for trying to put Beyond Brave on one line. But you get the picture. We'll hit save. Let's see. The black is feeling a little dark to me now. Let's go back. So this, you get the picture. I'd still probably want to play with the colors more. These are obviously my colors and not yours. Let's see if I can pop in that color code I gave you for the button, now that we've got a white background. I said it was 3E5E75. White text. 3E5E75. White. Maybe we'll make this black. Something like that. I'm wondering if you could also create like a lighter, you need a lighter brand color. Maybe that's what I'm needing. Maybe a lighter version of this, darker blue. 3E5, trying to talk and type E75. Okay. Let's pretend this blue is also your brand color. Something like that. I don't like that either. This is what I do all day, guys. Go back and forth on my design ideas. I think the background color of the waves is what's throwing me off. It's not the right blue. But anyways, I think you get the picture. Get the picture, get the idea, get what I'm trying to say. I also want to remind you all to always come into mobile. You can see this one is funky looking because I was doing some workarounds to get the background color. Actually, Addy, yours looks great in mobile already. And then Sarah, we need to work on yours a little bit. The mobile version will end up looking a little different than the desktop version just because we can't stretch out a video. And then we can, again, pretend we've got these buttons here. And the one thing I do wish Squarespace would do, like if I center this text in a box on desktop, I definitely want it centered on mobile too. But anyways, it doesn't do that. And it looks like I typed in 2 different color codes for these blocks. But that would be how I would do it. Always make sure you style your mobile. And exit. Okay. That was a lot. We made it to almost 1 hour. I did almost an hour last time too. I was like, today is not going to be as long. It's just not going to be. But here we are. Okay. If this was helpful, you know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the things. And I can also support you if you haven't gone live with your website yet and you want a discount. Go to designingtherow.com/Squarespace. You can also find that here on my resources page. And you can get a discount. I've got a 20% discount code to send you. If you haven't even started designing yet or building your site, I can also hook you up with a 6-month free trial so you can work on creating your website and building it out for 6 months without having to pay before you go live. If you just go directly through Squarespace, they'll give you 2 weeks, but I can get you 6 months, no extra cost to you. And let's see, the last thing I want to say was just stick around after I head out of here, and you can watch just the quick 3-minute intro to my new video series on my other channel. I would love to see you over there as well. I'm really excited about that. I actually don't have the printout with me for that, but I do have a whole workbook that goes with that series. There's going to be 7 videos. The first one that is ready to watch today is about how to make more money with your website. And I have like a whole worksheet situation to help you define your products and your services and how you're going to put them on your website, how you're going to get people to them, how you're going to get people to buy them, all of the things in the worksheet, in the video, for you to continue working on your website and taking it to the next level. I've had fun today scanning the comments. I think we've got all the questions answered. I didn't see any additional ones come through. So thank you for joining. If you have a friend with a website that you think might want to be part of this series, or if you're watching this and you didn't submit your website but you maybe want to, you can do that at designingtherow.com/review. Let's come over here to a /review, and you can submit your website here for me. Just a couple quick questions so I can get to know your website and what you're working on. And maybe you can be featured for the February session. I do these every second Tuesday of the month at 11 a.m. Central Time. I do think that's actually all I have this time. I think I'm done now. Okay. Thank you, Peter, Addy, and Sarah for being brave and volunteering to be in the hot seat today. And let's see if we can go back one more time and check out our new designs. What we've come up with today. I'll show you my new website if you haven't seen it. We've got professional Squarespace website design services. Designing the Row creates websites and digital strategies that work as hard as you do. Start your project. So again, everything all in the first top section above the fold to know what it's about and get started. And with that, I'm going to officially log off. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Hi, Janice. Thank you for watching. Thank you for saying hi. And I will see you in the series intro video. Thanks, everybody.